Welcome to the Highly Educated Podcast. Today is one of those Bambino segments, Bambino topic shit. I'm going to piggyback off my co-host, Coach. He did a recording on the Valdosta, Alabama head varsity football coach speaking on paying players and families to relocate. So I'm going to piggyback off him. So with that being said, the coach at Valdosta, Alabama football head coach, high school, was speaking on basically paying athletes. Now, when he brought me this article and the video on it, I laughed. Here's the reason why I laughed. In 1994, 95, that was a movie called Blue Chips. They started Shaquille O'Neal, Anthony Hardaway, and Nick Nolte. If you saw that movie, you know that, players wanted to get paid to attend this school, no matter what the history was before they got there. I've been saying this since high school. I wrote papers on it. I did it again in college, wrote the same papers, and my argument has never changed. Why won't you pay these student athletes? I don't understand. If the NCAA is a billion-dollar industry, what do you think type high school football programs are? You can look at Texas, you can look at Alabama, you can look at Georgia, you can look at Florida. Some of these coaches just coach. And they're getting paid by sponsorship, um, things with Nike, Under Armour. They get all this sponsorship to take these kids to camps. You don't think they paying these coaches too? And the schools getting looked at as a roommate of 5 Division II basketball players. I've never seen that much of a struggle. Meaning, in the NCAA, you know the rules, these boys can't work. And if they work, the NCAA gonna be like, so how you get this job and how you do this, how you get this money? I know for a fact them boys lift off their $200 a month check. And if you know that I know, back in the day, basketball players went straight out as soon as they got their check and bought them Jordans. A week later, couldn't even buy a slice of pizza. Come on. But the coach was living well. The assistant coaches was living well. Hell, I was on the training staff and I was getting some things. Why can't we take a portion of what you're gonna get? I remember Mateen Cleaves for Michigan State said, if you give me a tenth of what you'll make off me in the 4 years, I'll pay my college tuition myself. I know what you're gonna say. I know what the people are gonna say. They getting the free ride. Okay. Let's just say them 4 years, a total, without taking the student loans out, they right at 80 grand to 100 grand. Let's just say that. Let's just say he a top athlete, always on ESPN, always in the media, just bringing the light to the school. You're making money off the jerseys, that player's name. What's $5,000 to get these boys a semester? Somebody stated years ago, $2,500. Now I get these boys a $5,000 stipend. It's that simple. I know it's a lot of under the table activities. in sports, in the NCAA, all of that. You got to look at it. Look at Louisville 2, 3 years ago. You had the issue of their recruitment. Everybody's done had their issues. But if these issues are so important to the NCAA, they went against the NCAA rules to stop those issues, how about you just pay them? Then you won't have the grimy sleaziness that the NCAA says that go on. You know, money being sent in, given to this player just because it's a family friend. You won't have those issues. You won't have uh, people around who's just trying to go against the NCAA rules to lock these guys into a situation that they can never get out. Pay these boys, pay these student athletes, pay these girls, pay whomever. But you can't tell me that a high school coach or a college coach, let's just say a college coach, do you think he deserved $100,000 a year? Do you think a college coach deserved $1 million contracts to Nike and Under Armour and all these other companies? Do you? Do you? When these kids are just education, you got these kids going to school all day, training, then practice, then games. Are they really students or are they just property? This is Bambino just talking and I'm gonna put the link of my co-host's podcast in the description. Peace.